think when you create, sometimes it can get stifled and the love of the create itself can be gone.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 singers who got normal jobs.
I didn't wake up one day and decide, I just can't stand these guys anymore or anything. It was just, I feel like I'm ready for a life change.
For this list, we'll be looking at famous singers and musicians who took a step back from the limelight in order to pursue a normal career. We're also including actors who have shown off their vocal chops in things like musicals. Which current artist would you see working everyday jobs, and what could you picture them doing? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Russell Sr. This artist was unafraid to rejoin the common people. Pulp guitarist and violinist Russell Sr. had been with the Britpop group since 1983, seeing them through their mid-90s success. But after they broke out, in part thanks to frontman Jarvis Cocker's colorful personality, Sr. had, in his own words, run out of juice. He departed from Pulp in 1997, having had a strong aversion to their next lead single, Help the Aged, and wanted to end on a high note. Soon, he set his sights elsewhere. Sr. told The Guardian in 2009 that he had become an antique glassware dealer, and was also writing a book about Pulp's glory days, which hit shelves in 2015 to relatively positive reviews. Number 9. Jeff "Skunk" Baxter. His nickname may make you wrinkle your nose, but he's got a pretty sweet side hustle.
I spent a lot of money and I spent a lot of time. The trip we made to Hollywood is that's upon my mind.
Jeff "Skunk" Baxter was part of multiple huge 70s and 80s groups back-to-back, and that isn't even the most impressive thing on his resume. In 1995, Baxter was nominated chairman of an unlikely panel, the Civilian Advisory Board for Ballistic Missile Defense. While that may seem like a left-field endeavor, the former Steely Dan guitarist had long been primed for the gig.
Wrote a paper on how to convert a Navy carrier battle group and surface battle group, an air defense system, how to convert it to do theater missile defense.
As far back as the mid-1980s, his experience with music tech crossed over to that of the military, and he passed his paper on to a friend in Congress. Today, Baxter is a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and several research institutes.
Ricky, don't lose that number. You don't wanna call nobody else.
Number 8. Ely Lennon. After more than a decade together, these sonic siblings went their separate ways.
Is this what's getting moral times? Used to burn on a fire of light.
Scottish indie rock band Sons and Daughters announced their disbandment in 2012, following the release of their fourth album, Mirror Mirror. That being said, former bassist Ely Lennon is still very much a creative, albeit in a different medium. Documented on her Instagram and official website, she has not one, but 2 new careers. Living on the Isle of Iona, she's both a textile maker and, wait for it, runs a pizza business. Simply titled Ely, the business's Instagram bio reads, quote, "A girl with an oven in the Hebrides." Hopefully Lennon is raking in the dough with both her designs and, well, dough. Number 7. Jordan Pruitt. From receptions to RVs, this singer is more than a nostalgic voice.
I'll always feel like a winner, it's true with you.
Jordan Pruitt first made the rounds on Disney Channel in the mid-2000s, appearing on soundtracks and touring with the likes of the Cheetah Girls. She'd later resurface in 2012 on Season 3 of The Voice, where she competed as part of Team Christina. After beginning a relationship with the show's fellow alum Brian Fuente, they've started a new life in Nashville. Today, Pruitt and Fuente co-own 2 small businesses, the Aero Bar and Aero Build. The former offers espresso and bartending services for weddings and events, while the latter manufactures RVs and trailers for other businesses. And if you're missing Pruitt's voice, she still offers an occasional listen on social media.
Step in my shoes, baby, yeah, baby, yeah. Step in
Number 6. Bill Berry. Not only is Bill Berry an amazing drummer, he's also a multi-instrumentalist and an instrumental part of R.E.M's legacy.
Shiny, happy people holding.
In 1995, the musician experienced a brain aneurysm on stage during a show in Switzerland. While he tried to stick around following his recovery, Berry ultimately announced his retirement from the group in 1997 in favor of a change.
I'm still young enough that I can do something else. I've been pounding the tubs since I was 9 years old. I'm ready to do something else.
Pounding the tubs?
Pounding the tubs.
Considering R.E.M. was one of the biggest bands in the country at the time, his new life on a hay farm certainly fit his profile. While Berry had already owned the rural Georgia property, it became his full priority and he never rejoined the band besides occasional reunions. As of 2022, Berry has finally returned to the industry, but having broken up in 2011, R.E.M. is long gone.
Let's begin again. Begin.
Number 5. Nikki Blonsky. She was once the new girl in town, but she ended up back at her old one, at least depending on who and when you ask.
The rats on the street all dance around my feet. They seem to say, Tracy, it's up to you.
Although she never quit showbiz, Hairspray actress Nikki Blonsky supposedly began working at a salon in her hometown of Great Neck, Long Island. But here's where things get hairy. While a few different sources and Blonsky's official Twitter account both confirmed her employment in 2011, she would later deny it in a 2013 interview.
Actually, I never worked in a salon. That was a story that was out, and it wasn't true. But, it's funny the things that people make up when you're not working.
Blonsky went as far as to say she was just a customer at the salon, and the earlier story circulated after she was spotted putting makeup on her friend. Regardless of the truth, there's no shame in taking a day job, especially one so befitting of your big break.
But all the kids are batting up their hair now, hon. You're no help.
It's ratting, Daddy. And our First Lady, Jacqueline Kennedy, does it.
Number 4. MC Hammer. Contrary to the early 90s rumors surrounding him, this rapper was truly too legit to quit. While MC Hammer never retired from the music industry, he has ventured outside of it. Years after toying with religious themes in songs like Pray, he went full steam ahead with his faith in the latter part of the decade. In 1997, Hammer publicly reclaimed his Christianity, which he had previously grown up with.
Get saved! And then when you do, go out there in the world and handle your business.
Not only did he become the go-to ordained preacher for celebrity weddings, but he hosted a Christian TV show titled MC Hammer and Friends, rebranding the MC to stand for Man of Christ. Hammer's walk wasn't a short-lived fluke either. He appeared in a 2010 documentary about Christian revivals in Asia, where he was credited as a cultural icon.
God sees Asia's heart. You think he would abandon men and women who love him?
Number 3. Cindy Birdsong. Not every musician wants to keep hanging on to their glory days.
And if you're young and hot, rise up and take your stand.
Cindy Birdsong, best known as Florence Ballard's replacement in the Supremes, later left the group herself in the early 70s. But instead of following it up with a giant solo career like the group's lead singer Diana Ross, she tried a few out of the spotlight, though she later would return to a singing career.
Never been so ready for you.
Birdsong has stayed pretty private over the years, but from what we know, she's worked as a nurse, a minister, and even at Motown Records, the Supremes label. For what it's worth, the Supremes weren't the artist's only brush with fame. She previously performed as Patti LaBelle's backup singer. Given her varied resume, it's safe to say she's made her mark in music and many other areas.
But somehow I know it's gotta be planned, 'cause it all leads up to this.
Number 2. Willa Ford. Say the time and place and she'll liven up your space.
I wanna be bad, make that look so good. I've got things on my mind.
Willa Ford is primarily known for her early aughts pop hit I Wanna Be Bad, or, in the case of the Backstreet Boys fandom, being Nick Carter's ex. But while her initial singing career, followed by some film and TV stints, was short-lived, she later re-emerged as an interior designer.
And with acting and music, there was always a gatekeeper. And by starting my own business and being an entrepreneur, I was now my own gatekeeper. It was really a no-brainer for me to just completely pivot because I knew something was missing in my soul.
Ford launched her LA company W. Ford Interiors in 2012 after auditions dried up, and eventually wound up back on TV with a familiar face to reality junkies, the Lord, aka Kourtney Kardashian's ex, Scott Disick. Ford appeared on his 2019 series Flip It Like Disick and made formerly bad houses look so good.
So you were what I was missing in this whole scenario.
I mean, finally found me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Vanilla Ice. After experiencing some public legal, substance, and mental health issues throughout the 90s and 2000s, this controversial rapper turned things around for a surprising comeback.
If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.
In 2010, Vanilla Ice debuted the Vanilla Ice Project on the DIY network, which saw him renovating homes and investing in real estate. The unlikely venture was actually a longtime passion of Ice's, who had been in the field way before cameras captured it.
This right here, you see that mark it's making on the concrete? It's gonna make that on the wood. Can't have that.
No, as soon as I put it down there.
But if you use a clear rubber one, you know, those that come on the roller blades, they really don't leave too much mark.
The show lasted a whopping 9 seasons, showing a different side of the performer and rehabilitating his once tarnished image. At one point, it even spawned the ridiculously premised spin-off Vanilla Ice Goes Amish. Of all the musicians who changed careers, few have been this successful.
Yo, man, let's get out of here. Word to your mother. Ice, ice, baby.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.